Hi, my name's Chris Banks, and I want to show you guys the social studies lesson plan for second grade that I created with the integration of technology. It's a fairly simple lesson plan, and it's great for second graders because it hits the state standards of the knowing about local communities. And what this lesson plan is using the technologies of the exploration of Google Earth, the group collaboration of Padlet, and the assessment of blend space, I'm sorry, to really teach the students these standards in a more fun and interactive way that's not just a textbook. So what the point of this is to help students identify local communities, those communities being urban, suburban, and rural communities, and being able to find the difference. That's the most important part, is like, okay, I could say that this is urban, but why is it urban? And you want to help students be able to find the characteristics of why is it an urban community, why is it a rural community, and things like that. And they'll be using Google Earth to find these communities and taking screen captures. And then they'll be posting the screen captures into Padlet, where they'll be having group discussions. And then after their screen captures, after their group discussions, they're going to go to Blend Space to have those, to take a short 5-question assessment on all of it. And in order for this to be effective, the teacher has to invite the students to the carpet and tell them, and use pictures of communities, whiteboards, and markers to tell them what is a community. Because for a lot of second graders, this is their very first time even knowing what the terms local community are, or the terms urban, suburban, and rural are. So the teacher has to build that foundation of, excuse me, build that foundation of what are these communities before I set you off to go find them. So having the students on the carpet, writing on the whiteboard, urban, suburban, rural, and then showing pictures of each and describing what they are and the characteristics of each will help the student immensely when you send them back to their tables and tell them to work with their table mates to go to Google Earth and find these communities. Now, when you go to Google Earth, it's very important that you give them addresses, because I can go to Google Earth right now and just explore all of this. And the key part of this is that we're exploring local communities in Michigan. And if you don't give these students addresses, you would find a student is in Antarctica, a student's in Japan, a student's in India, like things like that. And we want to make sure that they're staying in Michigan in order to reach that state standard of a local community. So I know for a fact that Portland, Michigan is a very rural area. And I think the 3 easiest to do, and feel free to like let them explore after they use these 3 addresses, or find 3 different addresses that you want to do. But the 3 easiest for me is Portland, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, and Farmington Hills, Michigan. As Portland's the rural one, Detroit's the urban, and Farmington Hills is the suburban. If you have different ones that you want to use, feel free to use them. If they do use those 3 and there's a lot of downtime before the next activity, then they can go back and they can explore all throughout the globe if they want to, and just have fun with Google Earth. But for the premise of this, we're just going to use Portland, Michigan, and we're going to make sure that we click this little person for the street view. And then we are going to go to this little area over here. Oh, just kidding. There's no street view available there. So we're going to go to this area. And while we're here, you can obviously see that this is very rural because of the insane openness right here, and seeing what, like 3 houses, and just have them explore, right? Have them go down here. Actually, I guess not. Have them go down here and just see like what does Portland, Michigan have and what makes it rural. And after they do that, have them do a screen capture. For me, the easiest thing to do is Gaizo, because that's what I have, that's what I like to use. And as they're doing a screen capture, have them take a picture of the address as well, because although you are in Portland, uh, people can be in different areas of Portland. And with them being in different areas, like there's going to be different pictures, and it would be really cool to see like where those pictures were taken, and just have them copy the picture, then go to Padlet. And here you can see that I've drawn up urban, suburban, rural, and unshore. Unshore is just for the pictures that the students have taken, but they're unsure what category it falls under. And for that, it's just they just post it there, and it really works really well for the next part of the assignment. But for this, you're just going to have them do that, type in their name, for me Chris Banks, or you can have them type in their table number, whichever one works, and then copy and paste the picture, and then write a quick little comment as to what is this open field. And then with it being open field, just something easy like that, right? Because it it works really well for the next part. So you're just gonna hit, they're just gonna publish it, and then they're gonna do that for the other three over here. I mean, the other two over here, the suburban and the urban. And then after they're done with that, you want to bring them, you want to invite them back to the carpet to finish the discussion. And for that, you're just gonna ask the table, why did you post this? Why did you put Portland, Michigan under rule? Yes, you said open field, but what about what else? And then you can build a whole discussion off of that. And you can ask all the other table mates, like, okay, what did you put here? And why did you put that there? Why did you use this picture? Just try to have a more in-depth conversation rather than, oh, it was an open field. But have them really think about it. And then um, it works really well if the teacher doesn't talk and you allow the students to think, and you allow the students to uh, come up with their own ideas, and the teacher is more of a guider than they are a lecturer, because it allows the students to really pull information off of the picture that they were given to help back up their argument of sorts, or their claim. And then after that, you're going to send them back to their seats, and they're going to go to Blend Space. And with Blend Space, I created a 5-question quiz about communities. And the first 3 are very simple questions of what, and mind you, this is like this because this is their most, for them, this is their introduction to it. So you don't want to keep it too, you want to keep it simple, but you don't want to make it too hard. You want to make it too easy, just stuff like that. So what is a rural community? An area with farmland and spread out homes. What is an urban community? A city with a lot of buildings, roads, people, etc. What is a suburban community? An area with a lot of single family homes, but not in the city. The state of Michigan has all 3 communities, true or false. This one should be true because we just use Google Earth to find all 3 communities inside of that. I mean, inside of Michigan. And then the last question is more of a pre-quiz question per se, to understand where the students' thought processes are for the next quiz. I mean, for the next lesson of where does our school community fall under? And that's exactly what this question says, is what community does our school fall under? Is it urban, suburban, or rural? And for this one, there is no right answer. There's no wrong answer, because it is it's a pre-quiz question. You can't fail a student, or you can't mark a student down for not teaching the topic. And this is just an understanding of where do they think, where are they thinking our school is after just learning about this one. And unfortunately with Blend Space, it didn't allow me to give feedback on the quiz, but I think that this often is a great opportunity for the teacher to after they grade the quiz, to give the quiz back and open a floor for understanding of, okay, why do you think I gave you this grade? Why do you think it is A and not B? And just really get the students to collaborate with one another and understand and talk with one another, like, why is it this answer, not this answer? And I thought that that was a really cool lesson to do with the kids, something to get them interactive, something to get them out of their seats, and being able to talk with one another about the lesson and not just sit in a chair and read a textbook about this, about local communities, but instead they're able to um, be interactive. They can use Google Earth, they can use lesson planning. I mean, I'm sorry, they can use Padlet and use a quiz on their Chromebooks rather than a quiz on pen and paper. Like, it's just these little things that make it a lot more fun. And thank you for taking the time to listen to my lesson plan on local communities. Thank you.